So that was Marcella, and we had a shoot at my local mall. I said had because that was last week, and I'm filming this part about a week and a half after the shoot. So why am I recording this now? Well, frankly, the day of the shoot I was too nervous. I get terribly anxious when I meet new people. She drove down like over 2 hours to shoot with me, so I was more focused on, you know, doing what I do best and getting decent shots. And the thought of setting up another camera and talking to it while I'm trying to do a photo shoot would have put me over the edge. So today, right now, it is noon. It's the same time we shot, same lighting conditions. So I still want to do a video on how I did it. So we're going to go up to the mall and I'm going to show you our locations and how I did the shots. So one of the reasons I wanted to do this video is, one, midday with full sun is one of my favorite times to shoot, and secondly, I see a lot of people or photographers that are intimidated or afraid to shoot in the middle of the day, and they only shoot at sunset or sunrise. And while golden hour has its perks, it is really pretty light, there's a whole lot of other options that you can have. So let's go look at some of them. Now you can see the sun's pretty harsh right here. Move closer. So we're not middle of summer, it is early fall, so it's not straight overhead, but it is right about like that angle. So if you shoot this way, the sun casts the shadows in your eyes there, which is unflattering. Ways around that, you could have sunglasses, you could do eyes closed pose with your head tilted up. We didn't do any of that. Instead, I used bounce light because the sun's coming in here, it's bouncing off that, it's bouncing off the white wall there and the concrete here, so it's filling and everything. So I had Marcella turn, most of our shots were turning this way, and so I had her turn this way, and then I angled around and I just took shots with that way. So it filled nicely, had a little bit of a backlight or a hair light on her, and that's how we got around that. That was our first look, and then we had to move because, one, it was too hot here. The sun was really hot, and then a truck came and had to unload. So we're gonna go to the second spot now, and I'll show you the lighting there and what our thought process was right there. This particular location, I liked the grunge of this door, and we have these railings off to the side that we incorporated in. The sun is just behind the building, so this whole area is in shade, but there's a little wall here that sunlight's bouncing off of, as well as the pavement. It was a little bit darker. I had to bump my ISO up to 400 just to keep my shutter speed above 1/400th of a second, which is how I like to shoot. And it's also, I had to do that because I like to shoot fashion at f5.6. I very rarely shoot at 1.8 or 1.4 or anything like that. That's my style. That's what I prefer personally. If you were shooting wide open, you might not have to bump your ISO at all because it's still plenty bright. So we worked a couple different angles, different poses down here with a second outfit, and so now we're going to go directly that way for what the best light of the day was. Okay, so here was the best light of the day. We used these stairs and bounced off this wall and up this concrete, and then we did another set underneath the stairs. The great thing about being under the stairs was she was in the shadows, so it wasn't so hard on her eyes, but we had a nice bounce light from this concrete here. Anytime you can find a nice bouncing up light, it's real flattering and it's real nice on your subject when there's also fill from the sides and around. So we shot for a little bit there before we realized there was a giant hornet's nest under there, so we moved quickly. But back to this location here where we were on the steps, it was pretty here. We had bouncing off this wall and the sun coming in as a backlight really shined her hair nice. Now the only thing to think about here is, because this is a red wall, there was a little bit of a red color cast on her skin. I didn't mind that for this particular scene because her top was pink and it just kind of matched the whole color scheme of the thing. So a little bit of red cast was okay. Plus I just pulled a little bit of saturation out of it in post, so I mean she's not like blasted red skin, but it all worked well for that. So if you are using bounce light off a wall, take in consideration the color of your wall, because you will get that color cast bouncing back. I don't know how you YouTubers do it, because that was nerve-wracking as hell for me. I mean, I'm bad enough talking to the camera alone at my house and doing tutorials, let alone coming out in public and having people stare at me. And yeah, that was an experience. I guess it's something I got to get used to. Anyway, that was how I did that shoot. That's how I utilized the lighting. That's how I took advantage of shooting in the midday full sun. It can be done. You can get some pretty cool results. You know, go out and try it for yourself, and you just have to shoot and you have to practice. Just like me making these videos, I have to keep doing it and keep practicing. So here's the best shots from the day. If you're still watching, thanks, and I'll see you the next video.
We'll be right back.